Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about a journey that each one of us embarks on in life, a journey that defines who we are and, more importantly, who we choose to become. A journey where the greatest hero you will ever meet, the most powerful force that can change your life, is you. We live in a world where we are often told that success, happiness, and fulfillment come from external sources. Society paints pictures of what success should look like, of how we should live, what we should wear, where we should go, and who we should be. We are constantly searching for heroes in the form of mentors, celebrities, or fictional characters who seem to have it all figured out. But here's the truth. You are the hero of your own story. You don't need to look outside yourself for the strength, resilience, or power to overcome. You are already equipped with everything you need to succeed. I've learned the hard way that life will not always be fair. It will throw obstacles your way, make you question your worth, and challenge your spirit. There will be days when you feel like giving up, when you want to surrender to the overwhelming weight of the world. But remember this: your true power lies not in what happens to you, but in how you choose to respond to it. I was once told that I would never be the same after a tragic accident. They said I would never walk, never speak, never live the life I dreamed of. But I stand before you today, not as a person who was saved by someone else, but as someone who found the strength to rise on my own. I discovered that heroism is not about perfection, but about perseverance. It is not about being invincible, but about being brave enough to rise again, even when life knocks you down. Being your own hero is about understanding that life's challenges are opportunities for growth, not reasons to quit. It is about embracing your flaws and imperfections and knowing that they don't define your worth. It's about taking ownership of your dreams, your actions, and your choices. It's about refusing to wait for someone else to rescue you because you have the courage to stand up for yourself. The truth is, there is no superhero cape coming to save you, but you don't need one. You have the power within you, the power to transform your life, to rewrite your story, and to redefine what it means to be successful. You are capable of overcoming every obstacle, no matter how big it seems. You are capable of standing tall, even when the world tells you to shrink. I encourage you today to stop searching for someone else to come in and make your dreams come true. Be the one who makes them happen. You have the fire inside you, the spark that can light up even the darkest of times. Believe in yourself, because no one else will do it for you. Choose to rise even when the world tries to hold you down. You are not defined by your circumstances. You are defined by how you face them. When the storm comes, when life gets tough, remember that you are your own hero. You don't need anyone else to validate your strength. You have it within you to turn your pain into power, your struggle into success, and your fear into fuel for the next chapter of your life. Be bold, be brave, be unapologetically you. We often go through life searching for external sources of strength, hoping to find someone or something that will help us overcome the obstacles we face. So trust yourself and trust the sources of strength, and hoping to find someone or something that will help us overcome the obstacles we face. It's easy to believe that the answers to our struggles lie somewhere outside of us in the form of a mentor, a support system, or an ideal situation. We get caught up in the idea that if we could just find the right help, we would be able to move forward, conquer our fears, and achieve our goals. But the truth is, the strength to overcome any challenge, to rise from any setback, and to reach the highest potential within you is already inside of you. The power to push through difficult times, to face adversity with courage, and to stand tall in the face of fear lies within your heart and mind. There is no magic formula, no external force that can replace the inner strength that exists in each one of us. What we often fail to realize is that this strength is not something we need to acquire. It is something we need to uncover. It's always been there, quietly waiting for us to tap into it. The moment we stop looking outward for answers and start looking inward, we begin to realize just how much power we truly possess. You've probably heard people say things like, "You are stronger than you think," or "You are capable of more than you know." These phrases can sound like mere cliches, but they carry a deeper truth. Our potential is limitless, but we often need to push through our own doubts and fears to access it. We might underestimate ourselves or feel like we're too small or too weak to handle life's challenges. But these perceptions are shaped by fear and self-limiting beliefs, not the reality of our true capabilities. Think back to times in your life when you faced hardships, whether it was a personal struggle, a professional setback, or a health issue. In those moments, did you feel like you couldn't go on? Did you wonder how you would ever move forward? And yet, here you are today. You might not even realize it, but you've already tapped into that inner strength that helped you survive those times. You didn't give up. You didn't let the hardships define you. You found a way to keep going, even when the road seemed impossible. The key to unlocking this strength lies in our mindset. It's not about waiting for a magical moment when we feel invincible or waiting for life to become easier. It's about recognizing that we have the capacity to handle whatever comes our way, no matter how difficult it seems. We often convince ourselves that we're not ready, not strong enough, or not worthy of success or happiness. These thoughts hold us back, but they are just stories we've told ourselves. When we let go of these stories and replace them with the truth that we are capable of handling whatever life throws our way, we begin to shift the way we approach life's challenges. One of the most powerful things you can do is believe in your own resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to rise from failure, and to keep going despite the odds. It doesn't mean you won't experience pain or disappointment. It simply means you will not let these things define you or hold you back. Resilience is born out of the belief that you have the power to persevere, to keep fighting, and to eventually come out stronger on the other side. In fact, some of the most successful people in history have experienced failure, rejection, and hardship. What set them apart was their ability to tap into their inner strength and use those difficult moments as fuel for their future success. It wasn't that they were more talented or luckier than others. It was that they believed in their ability to push through adversity and use it to grow. It's also important to recognize that inner strength isn't about being perfect or invulnerable. In fact, embracing our vulnerability is one of the most powerful things we can do. We often think that showing vulnerability makes us weak or unworthy, but in reality, it takes immense courage to acknowledge our weaknesses and embrace them. It's only when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable that we open ourselves up to growth. Vulnerability is not the absence of strength. It is the raw, authentic expression of it. When we can face our fears, doubts, and imperfections head on, we are demonstrating a level of strength that is far deeper than what we might assume. When we begin to trust in our inner strength, we also start to trust the process of life. We realize that challenges are not obstacles to avoid, but opportunities for growth and transformation. Every difficulty we face, every setback we experience is a chance to learn more about who we are, what we're capable of, and what really matters to us. Rather than resisting challenges, we can begin to approach them with curiosity and openness. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this experience?" This shift in perspective can be transformative. It allows us to face challenges challenges with a sense of purpose and clarity, knowing that we have the strength to handle whatever comes our way. One of the most important ways to connect with your inner strength is through self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on ourselves when we fail or make mistakes. We live in a world that constantly tells us we need to be perfect, to have it all together, and to never show signs of weakness. But this is a toxic narrative. True strength comes from accepting ourselves as we are, imperfections and all. It's about recognizing that we are worthy of love and respect, not because we are flawless, but because we are human. When we practice self-compassion, we give ourselves permission to make mistakes, to learn from them, and to grow. We stop punishing ourselves for being human, and instead, we celebrate the courage it takes to continue moving forward, even when the path is difficult. Another powerful way to tap into your inner strength is by setting meaningful intentions. When we have a clear sense of purpose and direction, we are better able to tap into our strength during difficult times. Purpose gives us the drive to keep going, even when things get tough. When we know why we are doing something, the how becomes less daunting. The challenges we face are no longer obstacles to our success, they become part of the process. Our purpose gives us the clarity and motivation we need to keep pushing forward. We often forget that our inner strength is not something we have to rely on alone. While we each have the power within us to overcome challenges, we are not meant to go through life in isolation. It's okay to lean on others for support, to ask for help, and to share your struggles with people who care about you. True strength is not about doing everything by yourself. It's about knowing when to ask for help and trusting that you don't have to carry the weight alone. Support from others can help us tap into our own strength even more fully. Sometimes just knowing that someone else believes in us can give us the courage we need to keep going. When you begin to recognize and embrace your inner strength, you will find that your entire life begins to change. The way you approach challenges will shift. You will no longer see obstacles as roadblocks, but as opportunities to grow and evolve. You will no longer feel overwhelmed by fear and doubt, but empowered by the knowledge that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. The more you tap into your inner strength, the more confident you will become in your ability to navigate life's ups and downs. Remember that you don't need to wait for someone else to give you permission to be strong. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment or for everything to fall into place. Your strength is already there, waiting for you to embrace it. Every day is a chance to tap into that power, to rise above your fears, and to show up as the best version of yourself. The journey to discovering your inner strength is not always easy, but it is always worth it. And once you unlock it, there is nothing that can stand in your way. Taking ownership of your journey is one of the most powerful actions you can take in life. Too often, we find ourselves waiting for the perfect conditions or hoping that someone else will pave the way for us. We expect things to fall into place or we rely on others to help us make decisions. But the truth is, your life is yours to shape, and only you can truly steer the course of your own path. No one else can walk your journey for you, nor should they. The sooner we accept this responsibility, the more empowered and in control we become. Owning your journey means acknowledging that you are the author of your own story. Every day you are writing the chapters of your life. The choices you make, the steps you take, and the mindset you choose to adopt are all part of the narrative. When you realize that you are in the driver's seat, the entire way you approach life changes. You stop being a passive observer and become an active participant in your own existence. The road ahead may be uncertain, but by taking ownership, you are committing to the idea that you will navigate it with intention and purpose. Too often, we let external factors influence our decisions. We let society, our family, our friends, or even strangers dictate how we should live. We conform to ideas of success that were never truly our own, seeking approval or validation from others. We may even find ourselves on a path that doesn't feel right, simply because it was expected of us. But when we take full ownership of our journey, we stop allowing the outside world to define us. We recognize that we are not bound by anyone else's expectations, and we are free to create our own destiny. Taking ownership requires us to stop blaming others or external circumstances for where we are in life. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes things don't go the way we want them to. However, our response to these challenges is what ultimately shapes our journey. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming others when things go wrong, or thinking that we have no control over our situation. But when we accept full responsibility, we empower ourselves to make the necessary changes to move forward. Even when we face setbacks, we realize that these are not dead ends, but opportunities to learn, grow, and pivot. The power to change our trajectory always lies within our hands. When you own your journey, you also take responsibility for your growth. Personal development doesn't happen by accident. It requires effort, commitment, and a willingness to step outside of your comfort zone. Many people wait for an external event or circumstance to inspire them to change, but this rarely happens. Growth comes when you decide that you are ready to evolve and that you will take the necessary steps, no matter how uncomfortable or difficult they may seem. It's about embracing the process of change, understanding that it's not always linear, and being patient with yourself as you work toward becoming the person you aspire to be. This sense of ownership also extends to the way we handle failure. When we take ownership of our journey, we begin to see failure as part of the process, not as an end. Failure is not something that happens to us, but something we experience along the way to success. By taking responsibility for both our successes and our failures, we stop viewing setbacks as signs of inadequacy. Instead, we see them as stepping stones that bring us closer to our goals. It's through failure that we learn, adjust, and refine our approach. Without failure, there would be no growth. It's in these moments that our true strength and resilience are forged. And when we own our journey, we learn not to be afraid of failure, but to embrace it as part of the path we must walk to get where we want to be. Owning your journey also involves cultivating a strong sense of self-awareness. It's important to regularly check in with yourself to assess if you're living in alignment with your true desires and values. Sometimes we get caught up in the hustle of life and start drifting away from what truly matters to us. We may start to follow someone else's path, or we might find ourselves caught up in a pursuit of success that doesn't bring us fulfillment. Taking ownership means having the courage to stop and evaluate if we are still headed in the direction we truly want to go. It means being honest with ourselves about what we need, what we want, and what we value most in life. At times, taking ownership can feel daunting, especially when the road ahead is unclear or when we face obstacles that seem insurmountable. But by embracing ownership, we learn to trust ourselves and our abilities. We begin to recognize that we have the strength and wisdom to handle whatever comes our way. We no longer need to wait for permission or approval from others. We give ourselves the authority to make decisions and take action. This sense of self-trust is crucial in navigating the ups and downs of life. It builds confidence and empowers us to face challenges head-on, knowing that we can always find a way forward, even if that path is not immediately clear. Another critical aspect of owning your journey is learning to prioritize your own happiness and well-being. We often place the needs of others before our own, believing that our happiness is secondary or that we must always put others first. While it's important to be considerate and compassionate, it's equally important to take care of ourselves. When we own our journey, we understand that our well-being matters just as much as anyone else's. We take time to nurture ourselves, to pursue our passions, and to recharge when we need to. When we prioritize our own happiness, we are better able to show up for others and to contribute to the world in meaningful ways. Owning your journey also means accepting that the path may not always be smooth. There will be times when you feel uncertain, when you question your choices, or when things don't go according to plan. But that's part of the journey. Ownership is not about controlling every aspect of your life. It's about being willing to adapt and evolve, to take responsibility for your decisions, and to move forward even in the face of uncertainty. Every detour, every setback, and every unexpected turn is part of the experience that shapes who you are and who you are becoming. When you own your journey, you approach these challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to learn and grow stronger. There is immense power in taking ownership of your life. It allows you to create a life that is true to who you are, to make decisions that align with your values, and to move forward with purpose and direction. It's a shift from being a passive participant in life to being an active creator of your own destiny. You are no longer waiting for the world to give you permission to succeed, or for someone else to tell you how to live. You take the reins of your life and step into your power with the full knowledge that you are the one who determines the course you take. Through ownership, you find empowerment, clarity, and the courage to face whatever challenges come your way. Heroism is often misunderstood. We tend to think that to be a hero, we must achieve perfection or display invincibility. The truth, however, is that heroism is not about flawless victories or being impervious to hardship. It is about the ability to persevere, to rise after falling, and to remain committed to moving forward even when the journey is difficult and uncertain. It is the courage to keep going even when you feel broken, lost, or overwhelmed. Perfection is not required. Persistence is what truly defines a hero. Resilience, the ability to recover from setbacks, is at the core of heroism. It is what allows people to face challenges head-on and to keep going in the face of adversity. Life has a way of throwing obstacles our way, whether they are personal struggles, professional disappointments, or health crises. And it's easy to feel like we can't handle it, that we're not strong enough to face the storm. But resilience is about finding the strength to continue, even when we feel like giving up. It's about learning to bounce back from defeat, to get back up after falling, and to keep pursuing our goals, no matter how many times we stumble. The truth is, heroism is born in the moments when we are at our lowest. It's in the times when everything seems impossible and we wonder if we have it in us to keep going. These moments test our strength and our determination. But rather than break us, they offer us an opportunity to show the world and ourselves what we are truly made of. When we refuse to quit in the face of adversity, when we choose to keep pushing forward, that is when we truly discover our capacity for greatness. It's not about how many times we fall, but how many times we get back up. Each time we rise, we become stronger, more capable, and more confident in our ability to handle life's challenges. Perfection is often seen as a prerequisite for success. We believe that to be worthy of admiration, we must have everything figured out, to be without flaws and to appear invincible. But this is a myth that holds many people back. The pursuit of perfection can often paralyze us, preventing us from taking action or from fully embracing our journey. We fear that if we're not perfect, we won't be good enough. But in reality, perfection is not what makes us successful. It is our willingness to learn from our mistakes, to grow from our failures, and to keep going despite our imperfections. Every time we embrace our flaws and keep moving forward, we demonstrate real strength. The more we learn to accept ourselves as we are, the more we unlock our potential to achieve great things. In fact, it's often our imperfections and struggles that make us relatable, that connect us to others, and that ultimately make us stronger. When we go through difficult times, we learn more about ourselves and develop a deeper understanding of the world around us. Our struggles shape us in ways that success never could. They teach us resilience, empathy, and compassion. We learn that we don't need to be perfect to be worthy of love and respect. Our true strength lies in our ability to face challenges with courage, to rise from failure, and to continue our journey with hope and determination. Resilience is also about understanding that life is not always going to go according to plan. Things will not always unfold in the way we expect or hope for, and that's okay. Heroism is about adjusting to the unexpected, about finding new ways to move forward even when the path we envisioned is no longer available. When we encounter setbacks, we can either give up or find a new way to continue. The heroes in our lives are not those who always succeed at the first try, but those who refuse to let failure define them. They see every setback as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to try again with renewed determination. This ability to persevere also involves maintaining hope, even when things seem bleak. It's easy to lose faith when the road ahead looks long and uncertain, but hope is what keeps us going. It's the belief that things can and will get better, that despite the current difficulties, there is a way forward. When we hold on to hope, we are able to keep moving forward step by step, even when we can't see the end result. Hope gives us the strength to keep going, even when we're unsure of the outcome. Being resilient is not about pretending that we aren't affected by challenges or pretending that we don't have moments of doubt or fear. It's about acknowledging these feelings and continuing to move forward despite them. It's about being kind to ourselves in the moments of struggle, allowing ourselves to feel pain and disappointment without letting it stop us from continuing our journey. True resilience is not about never feeling defeated, but about knowing that even in our lowest moments, we have the ability to rise again. We are not defined by our failures. We are defined by how we choose to respond to them. This mindset is what allows us to build true confidence in ourselves. It's not about thinking we can handle everything perfectly. It's about knowing that we can handle anything that comes our way, even if it's messy, difficult, and imperfect. Too often we find ourselves waiting for someone else to come and solve our problems, to give us the answers, or to lead us to the success we desire. We look outside ourselves for validation, for guidance, and for solutions. But the truth is, the key to achieving what we want in life lies within us. We don't need to wait for a savior, a mentor, or a perfect moment. What we need is the courage to step up, take responsibility, and take action. We are the ones who have the power to create change in our own lives. We are the ones who must take the reins of our own journey. Waiting for someone to come to your rescue might feel like the easier option, especially when you're facing challenges or uncertainty. It's tempting to believe that if only someone else could come in and provide the answers, things would be better. But this mindset keeps us stuck. It keeps us dependent on others for validation and for direction, which limits our ability to grow and move forward. The truth is, no one knows you like you do. No one understands your potential, your desires, or your dreams better than you. While others may offer guidance, support, or encouragement, the power to shape your own future ultimately lies in your hands. You are the one who can take control, chart your course, and move forward with confidence. When we wait for someone else to make our dreams come true, we give away our power. We put ourselves in a position where we are reliant on external circumstances to bring about change. But the reality is that waiting for external forces to act in our favor often leaves us feeling frustrated, helpless, and disempowered. We can spend years waiting for the right opportunity, the right person, or the right moment, all the while missing the fact that we can start creating change right now. The moment we decide to take action, the moment we step up and take responsibility, is the moment we take back control of our lives. This doesn't mean that we should ignore advice, mentorship, or help from others. On the contrary, seeking wisdom from those who have experience can be incredibly valuable. But the key difference is in how we approach it. Instead of waiting for someone to solve our problems, we should seek advice to empower ourselves. We should be open to learning, but we should never forget that the ultimate responsibility for our actions lies with us. We must be proactive in seeking the knowledge and support that will allow us to take charge of our own lives. Taking responsibility for your own journey means recognizing that you are the one who must take the first step. It's easy to fall into the trap of passivity, waiting for the perfect moment or for the stars to align. But the perfect moment will never come. The right time is now. Waiting for someone to take action for us only prolongs our progress. When we take ownership of our journey, we acknowledge that the power to make things happen is within us. We can no longer sit back and wait for things to magically fall into place. We must take the necessary steps to move forward, no matter how small or difficult they may seem. Taking action can feel daunting, especially when the path is uncertain. We may fear failure, fear judgment, or fear that we won't be able to handle what comes next. But waiting for someone else to step in doesn't alleviate these fears. It only prolongs them. The truth is, we will never be fully ready. We will never have all the answers. But we can still take that first step, knowing that we have the ability to figure things out as we go. Action builds momentum. The more we take responsibility for our decisions and our actions, the more empowered we become. We stop waiting for permission and start creating opportunities for ourselves. And with each decision we make, each step we take, we move closer to the life we want. It's important to recognize that taking responsibility doesn't mean doing everything alone. It's not about isolating ourselves or trying to tackle everything by ourselves. Taking ownership of your journey means recognizing when to ask for help, when to lean on others, and when to collaborate. No one can do everything alone, and asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it's a strength. It's about knowing that while you are in control of your own life, you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You can reach out to others for guidance, support, and encouragement. But you must be the one to take the first step, to take action, and to keep moving forward. Waiting for someone else to rescue us often comes from a place of fear and uncertainty. We may feel like we're not capable or worthy of success, or we may fear that we won't be able to handle the challenges that come with it. But the truth is, we are all capable of more than we realize. We have untapped potential within us, and we are stronger and more resilient than we often give ourselves credit for. When we take responsibility for our own journey, we start to tap into that potential. We realize that we are capable of handling whatever comes our way, that we have the strength, skills, and determination to make it through. There is power in taking action, even when we don't have all the answers. It's through action that we learn, grow, and adapt. Waiting for someone else to act on our behalf keeps us stuck in a place of inaction and uncertainty. But by taking ownership, we give ourselves the opportunity to explore new paths, to learn from our mistakes, and to keep moving forward. With every step we take, we become more confident in our ability to handle what comes next. We no longer wait for someone to come to our rescue because we realize that we are the ones we've been waiting for all along. Waiting for a savior only keeps us in a state of passivity. It keeps us from realizing our own potential and from stepping into the power that lies within us. We have the ability to shape our own lives, to create the future we want, and to overcome whatever obstacles lie ahead. The moment we decide to take action, to take ownership of our journey, we unlock the power to create meaningful change. We no longer wait for someone else to lead us. We step up and lead ourselves. The path may not always be clear, but we have the courage to take that first step, knowing that we are capable of handling whatever comes next. Life is full of challenges, obstacles, and setbacks, but how we respond to them can shape our future in profound ways. Often, when things go wrong, when we face difficulties, or when life takes an unexpected turn, we find ourselves feeling defeated, frustrated, or stuck. In these moments, it's easy to feel like our dreams are out of reach or that we've been dealt a hand too difficult to overcome. The reality is that we all have our dreams to overcome. But the truth is, adversity can be one of the greatest gifts we are given because it has the power to transform us, to teach us, and to propel us forward. The key is to shift our perspective, to see challenges not as barriers, but as opportunities to grow, evolve, and reach new heights. Every challenge we face is an opportunity for self-discovery. It is in the midst of adversity that we often find our true strength, resilience, and resourcefulness. When life is smooth and things are going well, it can be easy to coast along without truly testing our limits. But when we encounter difficulty, when we are pushed to our breaking point, that is when we learn what we are truly made of. In those moments of struggle, we are forced to dig deep within ourselves and find the courage, the creativity, and the determination to keep moving forward. Adversity has a way of revealing parts of ourselves that we might not even know exist. It forces us to confront our fears, to question our assumptions, and to reframe the way we view the world. Adversity teaches us the value of perseverance. It is easy to quit when things get tough, to give up when we feel overwhelmed, or to let failure define us. But it's through perseverance, through our willingness to keep going, even when the road is rough, that we truly grow. It is in the face of adversity that we build the resilience necessary to achieve our goals. Every time we push through a difficult situation, we become stronger, more capable, and more confident in our ability to overcome future challenges. Adversity may not be something we seek out, but it is something that, once faced, can strengthen us in ways we never imagined. When we learn to persevere, we not only build our character, but we also pave the way for greater success in the future. In addition to resilience, adversity also teaches us the importance of adaptability. Life is unpredictable and things don't always go according to plan. We can't control the circumstances we face, but we can control how we respond to them. When we encounter obstacles, we have a choice. We can either resist them and try to force things back to the way we want them to be, or we can adapt, adjust our approach, and find a new way forward. Adapting to adversity doesn't mean giving up on our goals or dreams. It means being flexible enough to find alternative routes to get there. Sometimes, the most unexpected detours end up leading us to even greater opportunities than we had originally envisioned. By embracing change and adapting to life's challenges, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and pathways that we may not have considered before. Yognapati. Adversity also teaches us the value of patience. We live in a world that often emphasizes instant gratification and quick results. We are constantly told that success should come quickly and easily, and when it doesn't, we can become frustrated or disheartened. But true growth takes time. It takes effort, persistence, and patience. When we face adversity, we are often forced to slow down and take a step back, to reassess our approach, and to give ourselves the time and space needed to heal, regroup, and move forward. It's in these moments of pause that we learn to be patient with ourselves, to trust the process, and to understand that progress, no matter how small, is still progress. The road to success is rarely linear, and it's often filled with setbacks and challenges. But every step we take, no matter how slow, brings us closer to our destination. Perhaps most importantly, adversity teaches us to embrace the journey. We often get caught up in the end result, in the idea that success is the ultimate goal. We think that once we achieve our dreams, everything will fall into place and all our struggles will have been worth it. But the truth is, it's the journey. The process of growth, learning, and overcoming obstacles that truly shapes us. Adversity is an integral part of that journey. It is through our struggles and challenges that we develop the skills, the wisdom, and the perspective needed to appreciate the successes we achieve along the way. When we embrace adversity as part of the process, we shift our focus from the outcome to the growth we experience in the present moment. We learn to appreciate the small victories, the lessons learned, and the strength gained, rather than solely focusing on the finish line. Every challenge we face offers us an opportunity to become more than we were before. When we approach adversity with an open mind and a willingness to learn, we find that it is not something to fear or avoid, but something to embrace. Life's obstacles are not there to stop us, but to shape us into the people we need to become in order to achieve our greatest potential. Adversity can be the catalyst for transformation, the spark that ignites our personal growth and sets us on a path toward greater fulfillment, success, and purpose. By seeing challenges as opportunities for growth, we free ourselves from the limiting belief that failure or hardship is something to be avoided. Instead, we see adversity as a vital part of the journey, one that helps us uncover our inner strength, expand our capabilities, and reach new heights. At University,